As we were working a summer position at Target, and during this shift, my life changed forever. A woman stared at me from across the way. I thought she had a few scry loose. I tried my best to ignore her very intense stare. She eventually made her way over to me and asked me the most offensive question you can ask a person of color. Were you born in this country? And I was immediately offended. And I said, yeah, I was born in this country. And then she said, do you have any kids? I said, no, I don't have any kids. She then asked me if I was married. And then I said, no, ma'am, I'm not married. She says, how old are you? I said, 19. May I help you find something? And she then go on to say something that changed my life forever. She says, you look like you could be the next Miss USA. To my disbelief, she was actually a patient's recruiter, and the reason why she was asking those questions because she was curious about the qualification that I had. When it came to competing for Miss USA, and I laughed at her hysterically. I swore like, listen, lady, this is my second year at Virginia State University. I'm in the ROTC program. It means that in 2 years, I'll be commissioning as an officer in the United States military. I intention on going 80-30. I'm not a patient girl. And she said, you know what, please meet me at Starbucks tomorrow. I would love to just sit down and talk to you about it. And I must have been a pretty open mind 19 years old, because I actually met this crazy lady at Starbucks the next day. She shows up with this futon stack of patient books and somehow convinces me to enter into my very first patient, which I did 3 months later. Just a few months after the Target conversation, we went to a dress shop, and it was probably only maybe my second time picking out a dress in my life, and I remember going through on these pretty gowns, feeling like I look bonny. I remember putting the dress on and coming out, and it was her. I don't like the way that I look. I don't like the way that I look at all. In high school and middle school, but mostly in high school, I was heavily bullied. I had this one bully. She'd be the person that I would do everything I could to avoid, because in the whole way, she would bully me ruthlessly. She would say, skinny orangutan because my arms are long. She just says, wow, look at how big your feet are. And I would honestly say she's probably one of the bigger contributors to why my self-esteem growing up was very low. And I remember looking at myself in the mirrors. I'm like having an anxiety attack. Leslie, she walked up to me and rubbed my back. She said, you know, when I saw you in Target, I saw something in you, and I see you glowing right now. I think you look amazing, and I think you could easily win this competition, and I think you could easily win Miss USA. You just have to believe in yourself, because if not you, then who? So 3 months later, I compete in my first pageant and I lose. I go back the second year, compete in the state pageant, I lose. I go back the third year, compete in the state pageant and lose. I go back the 4 years, compete in the same pageant and lose. I go back the fifth year, yeah, compete in the state pageant and lose. But guess what? I go back the sixth year and guess what happened? I lose. It's where actually my dad. My dad that told me you have to stop it. It's not that I don't think that you can. I just don't know. If they will give you this ground, I will be prepared to quit. I called that woman on the phone and said, you told me I could be the next Miss USA. I've been at it for 6 years, and this is failing epically. She said, don't keep trying, keep trying. I have a good feeling. I said, your good feeling is rapid. I've been at this a long time. She said, keep going. I said, okay. And I was gonna message her, telling her that I had a patient in 2 months, and that I wanted her to miss that I was competing for Miss DC USA. And when I went to her page on Facebook, there were just all these RIPs going up and down her timeline. And all the RIPs were from 3 or 4 months prior. So I never got to say goodbye. I didn't get to go to her funeral or anything like that. I didn't know anybody, her friend. Her friend. When she passed away, no one told me, because no one knew that we were friends, and I just feel really bad. With Leslie, she was battling leukemia for about 2 or 3 years. I would message her and send her the date for my patient and says, hey, you know, I would message her and send her the date for my patient and say, hey, you know, I would love for you to come out. And she say, I'm sorry, I can't make it. I just always assumed things were going to be okay. It was very tough competing. That December, and I spent that entire 2 weeks remembering Leslie. I want to prove her right, that what she saw and who she saw in Target was actually someone that could be Miss USA. When the competition happened, I called my mom. She said, I'm watching you, Leslie watching you, everybody watching you. I had an immediately anxiety attack. I was crying and I just said, I don't want to go out there. I'm terrified, because you could hear the people, thousands of people. This was the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, and it's huge. I remember just looking at myself in the mirrors and saying, if not you, then who? I looked around and I just saw on this amazing woman that are more than capable of being Miss USA. I just kept telling myself, if not you, then who? If not you, then who? And then I got down to myself and Miss Hawaii USA. He, we, hand, we held hands and I said, thank you God for first running up. This had just been such an awesome experience because I just knew I was gonna lose against her. And I was shocked. And I remember looking out into the stands and seeing so many people jumping for joy, including my friend, my family members that came, and I wish there could be at there sitting in the stand. But I could feel that in my spirit. I could feel something saying, I told you, I think it was her saying to me, like shining down from the heavens. You see, I told you you could be the next Miss USA. And I'm thankful that I was working in women department and that she decided to come to Target that day because I just don't think I would have known how capable I am if it had not been for her. I appreciate that she was able to be that for me, and I continue to carrying that coat. If not me, then who? Through life, at times our purpose drops in our lap, as if the heaven threw it by accident. Do not fear failure, but please be terrified of regret, as giving up is the birth of regret. You will have 100 moments that will be filled with someone telling you, no. The reality of life is that we will all hear more no's than we hear yeses, and we will fail a lot, and I mean a whole lot. But what I ask of you today is not to take no for an answer. Don't be afraid of no's. Be afraid of the possibility of a yes that you have prematurely destroyed because you decide to quit before the clock strikes 12. If not you, then who?